Police in the Ferguson-Florissant area are investigating two separate shootings over the holiday weekend. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ann Allred. 5 on your side's Megan Kernan has more this afternoon from the Ferguson Police Department with what we know so far about the Christmas and Christmas Eve incidents.
One of those shootings happened late last night on Christmas. Police here at the Ferguson PD tells us a person was shot in the head in Ferguson. Officers responded to a home at the corner of Lorette Avenue and Halpin in Ferguson just before 10 p.m. You can see from the video here shattered glass outside a door of the residence and an overturned chair. The person shot in the head was taken to the hospital via ambulance. No word on the identity of the victim or a motive. Now, this all happened hours after another shooting in North County, where police are still searching for a suspect. 3 men were found shot on West Florissant and Florissant on Christmas Eve. One of them, 33-year-old Kenneth Covington, later died from his injuries. Police say it started as an altercation inside of a business and continued in a parking lot, escalating into a shooting. One of Covington's friends says he leaves behind a wife and 3 children. Both investigations from Christmas and Christmas Eve are ongoing and active. Reporting in Ferguson, Megan Kernan, 5 on your side.
If you have any information on the crimes, you can reach out to Crime Stoppers. You can remain anonymous at 866-371-TIPS. Earlier this morning, 2 men were rushed to the hospital after being shot in Wood River, Illinois. It happened on 6th Street and Lorena Avenue around 4 this morning. Wood River police tell us it started as a domestic incident. It escalated into a shooting. One of the wounded men is accused of assaulting a woman earlier in the night. The other man who was shot was her father. Right now, we don't have any word on the conditions, and they're continuing to investigate. Right now, police are investigating a shooting that happened this morning in North St. Louis City. Police say it happened around 3:30 a.m. on San Francisco Avenue. They say a man was shot in the back and was taken to the hospital. We don't have any word on the condition or what led up to this shooting. We'll keep you updated as more information comes to the newsroom. And here's a look at a 2-car crash in Maryland Heights. Happened around 1 a.m. on I-270 near Page. Both of the cars were damaged. One rolled over on the highway. The crash temporarily closed down several lanes. Today, we are coming out of a wet holiday, but it looks like we'll get a mix of all kinds of weather later this week. Gary Frank is here with our Weather First forecast. Gary.
Yeah, good afternoon, Ann. Good to see you. And on this day where the sun's out, it's a little different than yesterday. We dry out just a little bit. It didn't start off all that cold, and we're already above our average temperature for this time of the day, and we still have 2 to 3 hours to go, but there's a lot of sunshine outside. We are still seeing this same system that I've looped, and we had rain from it on one side, but it still continues to spin, and there's snow in central Kansas. While this looks like a lot at the moment, I've looked at some of the cameras. There are some pretty big snowflakes, but not amounting to much. And we're on the dry side of things right now. That's what we'll focus on the rest of the afternoon as temperatures have warmed up into the 40s pretty easily, as we only started off in the mid 40s, and we're already at 45. That's 3 degrees above our average high. Still dry air settling in place, but a strong south-southwest breeze that will change in the next 48 hours. Overall, this is mostly rain, and even if we mix flakes of snow in, they should not accumulate. Temperatures are above freezing for a lot of us, but there will be some isolated heavy bands that could cause a few issues, and that's what we're focusing on the next 36 hours as this very slow-moving system works its way toward us. How that impacts your Wednesday, even into Thursday, and what we'll see as far as temperature trends to finish the new year.
A Pattonville school district worker was recently arrested on charges of sexually abusing at least 3 children. Michael Johans was taken into custody at the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office on December 20th. Investigators say he met his victims, 2 of them under the age of 10, through a friend. Charging documents say Johans met the victims at an O'Fallon church and messaged them in texts or through video games. According to a spokesperson, Johans was a communications specialist with the school district and is on unpaid leave. They say, to their knowledge, the charges are not related to Johans' work at the school. St. Clair County Police are looking for a man and a woman in connection to 3 armed robberies and an assault at Metrolink locations. On December 20th, officers responded to a reported robbery on a westbound train. Another robbery on a westbound train was reported the following night. Then, on December 23rd, someone was shot on the Metro, but they're expected to be okay. The suspect's description was consistent with each of the robberies and is thought to be the same person. Anyone with information, please reach out to CENTCOM Dispatch at 618, the number's on your screen, 618-825-2400. 2051. Tomorrow, registered nurses at St. Louis University Hospital are moving forward with a 2-day strike. This will be from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. tomorrow, then 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Thursday. The nurses are worried about the hospital outsourcing jobs instead of recruiting and retaining more local employees, saying it's a form of union busting. The strike ends at 6:59 on Friday morning. The Israeli military continues to battle Hamas militants in the Gaza Strip. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said forces will continue to fight there until Hamas is destroyed, going against global calls for a ceasefire in that region. NBC's Josh Letterman has more from the Middle East.
The Gaza Strip is reeling from one of the deadliest stretches of the war so far, with some 250 Palestinians killed in a 24-hour period, according to the Hamas-run Palestinian Health Ministry. And among them are at least 70 people who died in an airstrike on the Al-Maghazi refugee camp in central Gaza. The Israelis, too, have been suffering a large number of casualties. At least 17 IDF troops were killed just since Friday, according to Israel's military. And the fighting has been ongoing. Just within the last few hours, we have been hearing the explosions here in southern Israel of additional rockets from Gaza being launched into Israel, intercepted by the Iron Dome system. And it comes as Prime Minister Netanyahu is really under a lot of pressure right now to change course in this war, not only from aid groups and foreign countries that are demanding an immediate ceasefire, but also from the families of those some 100 plus families of hostages who are believed to be still held in the Gaza Strip. Some of those relatives heckled the prime minister as he spoke in Israeli parliament. Last night they shouted "now" and held up signs saying, "What if this was your daughter?" And the prime minister has been fairly defiant in the face of those calls for some type of shift. He paid a secret wartime visit to Gaza yesterday, met with troops there, where he said, for anyone calling for an end to this war, it's not going to happen. Israel must fight until the very end. And in one reminder of just the clear risk of this war spiraling across the region, Iran says that Israel killed a senior Revolutionary Guard official in Syria over the last 48 hours or so. Iran now threatening to retaliate against Israel. Josh Letterman, NBC News, Sderot, Israel.
For the latest updates on the Israel-Hamas war and those impacted, text the word Israel to 314-425-5355. Coming up, more from the war in Ukraine, a strike conducted against Russian forces in Crimean waters. Then, look at a migrant surge heading for the U.S.-Mexico border. How many people are in it and how officials are handling it.